Hello, everyone, and a very Merry Christmas Eve to you from Colby, the DGI Crab. Here we are, end of the year, the Great ETF Race, episode 13. This is going to be the final episode of the Great ETF Race for the 2024 year. Episode 14 is going to be kicking off at the beginning of 2025, and there will be plenty of things to go over then. That's going to be the episode where I spend most of the time covering dividend increases from these 8 ETFs. But for right now, I just want to show you all where we are at with the final count on the ETFs, what they've paid out in dividends so far, and take a look at how everything has progressed from about the middle of this year all the way to the end of 2024. In case you are new here, what this series is all about is me investing $5 every single week into 8 of the most highly popular dividend growth themed ETFs on the market. And the point is to show you that anyone can invest without having a lot of money or a lot of knowledge about individual stocks. You could just pick 1, 2, maybe even 8 dividend ETFs and allow your passive income stream to gradually grow over time. You can do it all passively as well. I have this set up on the SoFi investing platform where I have this all completely automated. The $5 a week into the 8 ETFs goes in automatically every single Monday, so I can just set it and forget it without even having to worry about anything. But I do keep track of everything on a spreadsheet because I'm a nerd and I like to have a very close tab on exactly what's going on week to week. Not a professional financial advisor. Don't take anything that I'm telling you in this video as direct financial advice, and you should always do your own due diligence prior to investing in anything. So I'm going to make sure that I've got all of this completely sorted and up to date as of the end of the trading day here today. And wouldn't you know it, VIG, an ETF that has actually been on the bottom half of this race for the majority of the year, has rallied at the end of the year and is in the top position as we are at the close of 2024. How about that? The Vanguard Dividend Appreciation Fund, VIG, the one that I am spending the most of my capital on in my other portfolios, the DGI Crab portfolio, as well as my primary brokerage in Robinhood. This is, in fact, my favorite ETF for the Tier 2 investor, which is an investor age 31 to 41, where you want to start adding some dividend income, some dividend-focused income, but you still want to really be emphasizing growth because you're going to have, in those years, still plenty of time in the market for the dividend increases year over year to truly compound and give you an excellent dividend snowball. So let's take a look here. In second place is DHS, which has been manning that top position for the last few episodes now. It is just shy of VIG, just 21 cents less than VIG. Now, of all 8 of these ETFs right now, I still have not gotten the Q4 distributions for 6 of them. I got a 77-cent dividend from DGRO, the iShares Dividend Appreciation Fund. And then, let's see, it was $1 plus from SCHD, the Schwab Dividend ETF, or as I call it, the internet's favorite dividend ETF. As a result of that, SCHD has actually paid out the most in dividends so far, but I do still need to get the Q4 distributions from the 4 Vanguard funds, including VIG, VYM, VBR, and VYMI. So SCHD may not have that top position by the time those other ones hit the account, but I think it's probably going to be pretty safe. The one that's going to have the best shot at it is probably going to be VYM, or maybe VYMI. Those non-US stocks generally tend to pay out pretty nicely towards the end of the year, and usually that Q1 distribution is kind of a wimpy one. At least historically, that's how it's worked out. We'll have to wait and see. And then DHS, of course, the only monthly payer in the group. Still waiting on that December payout from DHS. This one pays out right toward the end of the month. But because those are monthly distributions, they are a bit smaller than the ones that are paying out quarterly because, well, it's just kind of how it works. I'm getting about a third of a typical distribution from a monthly payer as opposed to the ones that pay out quarterly, if that makes sense. So let's see. So I always like to talk about celebrating little milestones along the way. It's very important to acknowledge, recognize, celebrate little milestones along the way, because you're not going to become a millionaire overnight investing $40 every single week. But I do think that you will eventually get there over time, especially if you're young enough and you've got plenty of time to let everything grow and compound. Now, as far as little milestones go, a couple things to point out here. I have eclipsed the $1,000 invested mark. I did that last week when I hit $1,000. Again, $40 every single week. So that's a nice little milestone to hit. Onward and upward to $2,000 moving forward from there. Another thing that jumped out at me is I do now have a full share of all of the ETFs except for VBR and VIG. These are the two highest dollar amount ETFs in terms of share price. Maybe Vanguard will come through with some share price splits, some stock splits on the ETFs. Not particularly worried about it if they don't, but those are the two that I am still working toward getting a full share of at this $5 a week pace. I did get a full share finally of VYM, the third highest share price ETF. So that was number 6 out of 8 that I've hit a full share of. Let's see here. I've hit $6.28 of dividends received. I'm not sure if that's going to hit $10 once I get the payouts from the other 6, as I mentioned before. Hopefully, I'll be pretty close to $10 if I don't eclipse 10. Also, on the annual income side, right now I'm sitting at $32.43. It's going to go up a little bit more when those 6 other dividends hit the account. And then when I start factoring in the dividend increases from these ETFs, that should hopefully go up a little bit more without having to actually add any more money into the account. That's the nice thing about dividend increases. You spend all this time and effort adding your own money into the portfolio to increase those dividends, but then you receive the dividend reinvestment when those pay out. That increases your annual income a bit each time, and then the dividend increase that even more. So the stock market definitely has corrected over the past week or so, and I'm actually just about dead even right now on the overall value of the portfolio. I've invested $1,040, received another $628 in reinvested dividends, and the value is only at $1,047. So only up about $1 so far in total on these. But that has not been the case over the majority of this. I've been up 10% or better at some points in time, but there are always going to be market corrections. The stock market's been on fire for the last year and a half, and when there's a stock market pullback, that generally means the overall value of your account doesn't look as impressive. But what I'm primarily focused on is the annual income that my portfolio provides. And this number should continue to go up, 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 up in a 40-degree angle, as long as I continue to stay consistent with the weekly contributions, reinvesting all of the dividends. This number here is going to go up, down, left, right, sideways. You just never know depending on what's going to happen in the stock market. And that's why I like to focus on that income number, because that's what it's all about. Getting that passive dividend income, the most passive income that I believe anyone can receive. You just have to own stocks or own ETFs and just let that income come in without lifting a finger, reinvesting all of that money and letting the snowball compound. That is what it is all about, you guys. So is anyone surprised VIG wound up on top? I'm personally not myself. I'm a big fan of VIG. I think it's just perfect for somebody that is in my particular age range. Now, next November, I'm going to be graduating out of the Tier 2 and into the Tier 3, age 42 to 53-year-old investors. And at that point, VIG is not going to be my primary focus anymore. I'll be spending more of my energy building up positions in SCHD, VYM, and DHS, because I'll want to get a little bit higher starting yield at that point in time, as my time horizon to retirement is going to start to shorten up a little bit as I get into my 40s more. So I want to add a little bit higher starting yield than what VIG typically provides at just 1.72%. Very happy overall with that growth on VIG. I think I'm also going to be pretty happy with the dividend increase for the year. And again, that's what I'll be going over 2 weeks from now for episode 14, the first episode of 2025. We're going to review what these ETFs paid out for the entire year of 2023 versus 2024 and see what kind of dividend increases they came through with. So thank you so much for watching over the course of this year, investors. I really appreciate having you along the way. Leave me a comment down there below. Let me know what you're thinking about the race so far. Any surprises? I've got another ETF series that I'm going to start in 2025 that I'm probably going to do just once a month. So I'm definitely excited to see that one. I'm already getting some money put aside for that, and that's probably going to be taking place within the SoFi account as well. So you'll have to come back in 2025 to see what that new series is going to be, but I'm very, very excited about it. Just came up with it a few days ago, and I think it's going to be another interesting ETF comparison to see how things are going to progress. And it's just going to feature 2 ETFs. Any guesses what they might be? They're not any of these 8. So you'll have to, I'm just going to leave that up to your imagination for right now. Also, everybody, if you have any questions, I've gotten some great questions from viewers over the last couple of weeks. Plenty of viewer-themed content is coming up along the way. Send it to me, dgicrab@yahoo.com. I will always respond to you with an email, but if it requires a longer form answer, with your permission, of course, and I will keep you anonymous, I'd love to do a video response so we can open up to discussion with the community, make ourselves all better dividend investors together. That's what this channel is all about, you guys. Once again, a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year to you. And this is going to conclude the Great ETF Race for 2024. But you know I'm going to be back doing plenty more episodes in 2025. Can't wait to do that, and I'll see you there.